This is the story of three little boys named Jack. The first little boy named Jack wasn't like other little boys. He didn't walk to school. He parachuted onto the roof of the school, rappelled down the front wall, and entered class through a window. But sure enough, at the end of the day, he'd take the elevator back up to the roof, and there would be Jack with his mother and his father waiting to take him home on a helicopter. I should mention, by the way, that the school itself was fairly new. It felt like just yesterday that a bunch of engineers gave the cement a good mix, laid the foundation of the building, and then built the building. Coming back to present day, the teacher noticed that Jack forgot his homework, so he asked another little boy named Jack to take his homework up to the roof. The second little boy named Jack had red hair, so having delivered the homework, he got back on the elevator and went back down to class. Now, what they didn't know was that there was a third little boy named Jack on the roof the whole time. He was playing hide and seek, and nobody was seeking him because nobody liked him. He was one of the mean kids. He was one of the kids who pushed around people smaller than him, stole people's lunches, called people names. Kids, don't be like the third little boy named Jack. Nobody likes the third little boy named Jack. So the third little boy named Jack thought to himself, you know what? I'm just hiding too well. If I go down to the hall where the classrooms are, maybe they'll find me. Now, the second little boy named Jack thought going to the roof was so cool that he went back up to the roof, and this time he took his stepsister Queenie with him. His stepsister Queenie also had red hair. Queenie always wore an expensive-looking diamond necklace, but I'll let you in on a little secret. It only cost $40. Queenie was a very smart kid, by the way. She was the type of kid who could get all of her papers completely mixed up. She could cut class, and she would still somehow manage to pull straight A's out of thin air. I always hated people like that. And she wasn't just smart. She was a good citizen, too. She used to work in the office running the copy machine, and she never neglected to collate the papers when she was done running the copies. Queenie's parents used to say that even though she was in third grade, she was already smarter than the fourth graders, the fifth graders, and the sixth graders. In fact, they said she could have just gone from second grade to ninth grade in spades. Yeah, her parents were a real couple of jokers. But you know what? They loved Queenie with all their hearts. So anyway, the first two little boys named Jack were walking home when all of a sudden, there was an earthquake! And the two little boys named Jack came running up. Jack! Jack! They knew the third little boy named Jack was still in the building. I mean, they didn't like him, but they didn't want him to be dead. But there was no motion. They were so sad, and they just quietly walked away. But what's this? From the bottom of the pile, there was a stirring. Someone's clawing out. It was the third little boy named Jack. He was safe. Everybody was happy. And that is the story of the three little boys named Jack.